So humans make up these commands. They tell you to obey. You feel obligated to obey, even when you think they're stupid. I'm still having trouble recognizing the government because I can see all the ingredients you can point out. I can see the law books and the buildings and the enforcers and the politicians, but you keep saying it's something else, and you keep not being able to point to it. I mean, I understand, even back on my planet, we have like sports teams, and you can say that all these people are on the sports team, and together they make up a sports team. But what you're telling me is all these people in buildings, they're part of government, but they're not really it. There's something else that makes it government, and they're not it, but you can't really tell me what it is or where it comes from. So let's try a new approach. They give you these laws, these commands. They tell you what to do. Basically, they threaten you, right? They say you're going to do this or we'll hurt you. Well, yeah, but we don't really view it that way. It's the law of the land. We have to obey it. It's the law of the land. The dirt, the land makes the law? I thought that guy did. Well, yeah, but on behalf of the thing called government, on behalf of the country, he tells us what to do and hurts us if we disobey. Wait, didn't you say he works for you? He does this for your benefit? Yeah, for our benefit, he bosses us around and takes our money. Okay. So you feel an obligation to obey these commands, even if you think they're stupid. Like, can you give me an example of one of the commands that you think are stupid? You don't like, but you think you should go along with it anyway. Well, they make us pay taxes. They demand lots of money from us, and they pay for wars. They pay lots of people to go to the other side of the planet and kill a bunch of people. And I don't like paying for that. Okay, I can see how you wouldn't like that. Doesn't sound like a good thing to me, the way you described it. But you feel obligated to give them your money. Like it's a bad thing if you don't. Yeah. You feel obligated to fund what you consider to be murder. You think it's bad for you not to fund murder. In a way. Okay, let me back up for a minute. Do you Earthlings, do you generally accept that stealing from each other and beating each other up and murdering each other for no reason, are you guys to the point where you kind of understand that that's not a good thing? Oh, yeah, we know that. You don't steal, don't attack, don't assault. Don't do that horrible thing. Okay. But when the guy who got in the limo, when he says, give us money so we can go kill people, you feel obligated to go along with it and to give him money. Well, that's different. That's not just somebody doing it. That's authority doing it. That's government doing it. Okay, now, I'm assuming you're just scared of this thing. It's a big, horrible, powerful thing. So, like, how many people does it take money from to pay for this war, among other things? About 100 million of us. 100 million of you. So it must have, 100 million enforcers to make you guys pay up? No, I think there are about 100,000 tax collectors for the federal government. So you outnumber them 1,000 to 1, but you still feel obligated to give them your money to fund things you think are evil. Well, yeah, we can ask them to change their commands, of course. We're allowed to ask them to tell us to do what we want them to tell us to do. Okay, so let me get this straight. You sent them there. You decided that some of you should go there and boss you around and take your money. And your goal is to pick somebody who's going to order you to do what you were going to do anyway. But what happens every time is he orders you to do something else, and then you try to make somebody else go there who's going to boss you around and command you to do things that are in line with your own beliefs and morals and things like that. Is that how it works? Yeah, pretty much. They boss us around, and we try to put people there who are going to tell us to do what we wanted to do in the first place. Okay, now, I realize I'm new to this planet, and this seems sort of strange to me, but I got to ask you a question. Instead of you trying to pick one of you to put there to boss you around and take your money in the hopes that he's going to do it and command you to do the things that you think are right anyway, why don't you do what we do on our planet, which is you do what you think is right, and that's all. On my planet, we have conflicts and stuff, but we each do what we think is right. We spend our own money. We make up our own decisions. Why would you try to take a person, put him in a position where he can force you to do something and try to get someone who's going to force you to do what you were going to do anyway? I don't get why you do that. Well, no, you can't have everyone deciding for himself what he's going to do. That's anarchy. There'd be chaos and mayhem, and you didn't have laws if you didn't have government. It's just, it would never work. It would never work. So, in order to keep you humans civilized, in order to keep you from attacking and stealing and murdering each other, you choose some of you to go over there who then attack you and steal from you and murder you, so that nobody will attack you and steal from you and murder you, because if they didn't, somebody might attack you and steal from you and murder you. Is that right? Yeah, that about sums it up. See, we humans, if left to our own devices, we're untrustworthy. Some of us are just negligent, some of us are nasty, some of us would hurt each other. But you said you understand you shouldn't steal and murder and stuff like that. Well, yeah, most of us understand that, and most of us get along pretty well, but there are a few of us who they will steal and beat people up and even murder people. Right, I can see how that would be a problem. And so that's why we need government, because some people do that. So you need this thing that steals from you and bosses you around and occasionally murders people. You need that because sometimes a few people, not very many, might decide to steal from you and boss you around and murder people. So you need an organization that does that first so somebody else doesn't do it. Again, I'm new to this planet. I'm sorry I'm having a hard time understanding this. It's just, it's tough. Well, we're untrustworthy. We're imperfect. Like I said, mostly we get along, but there are those little problems, and we need somebody in charge. We need government in charge to keep us civilized. Okay, so I assume you put the wisest, most noble, most compassionate people into power so that they will use their wisdom to keep the rest of you in line. Still doesn't really make sense, but at least you have the best among you going there, right? No, actually, they're all a bunch of lying crooks. The ones you sent there. Well, we don't try to elect lying crooks, but it always turns out that way. And that they always get caught doing nasty, horrible things, and they're constantly doing things we don't like with our money, whether it's giving money to people who are already zillionaires, or waging war, or taking money from people who earn it to give it to people who didn't, or other things like that. Yeah, they are constantly doing that stuff. They're completely corrupt. They're a bunch of lying crooks. Okay, so let me see one last time if I can understand this. Because human beings are untrustworthy, some of them, because they're sometimes negligent or nasty, because there's the threat that some of your neighbors might boss you around or steal from you or even kill you, because of that, it is necessary for your survival to take some of the worst people among you and give them permission to steal from you, boss you around, and kill people. Does that about sum it up? Yeah, that's pretty much government in a nutshell. Okay, tell you what, we'll come back to your planet in a few hundred years and see if you have any grasp on reality by then. See you later.